Welcome to The Knowledge. UK Youth Parliament recently won the right to debate in the House of Commons. UKYP is an elected body of young people from 11 to 18, representing young people all over the country. UKYP enables young people to use their energy and passion to create social change. Recently, Harry Phibbs, a Conservative councillor and a blogger, wrote an article for The Guardian opposing Youth Parliament and other youth organisations, and especially them debating in the House of Commons. We've got together with Mr. Phibbs to ask him a few questions. 11 to 18-year-olds want to have an opportunity to debate in the House of Commons. What should stop them?
Well, in terms of using the House of Commons, I think that's a separate point in a way, because that debate seemed to be about whether the chamber in the House of Commons should just be for the House of Commons, or whether, when it's not being used for that, but it's not sitting, whether it should be for other things. And so it could be having it for school children to debate, or they could hire it out and make money for a film set. Or that seemed to be more an argument about the principle, about whether it was should be sort of sacrosanct and above being used for anything else because it was such a special place, or whether it should be used for other things. So that seemed to be the main debate there. My feeling is that if the debating competitions and in mock elections in schools where people stand for the Conservatives or the Labour and candidates and put forward their views there, and debate in that way, or debate particular issues in a debating society, then I think that's good, and that's good that people are expressing their views and practicing giving speeches and so on. What I think is a bit different is the Youth Parliament of coming up with this sort of pretense that there's something real, when it's, to my mind, is phony. And I think most young people would probably acknowledge that it was phony, that they don't have votes and they don't have a chance to elect real members of Parliament, and that's the arrangement that we have. And you could argue about whether the voting age should be reduced from 18 or not, but at the moment it is 18, and so this is a kind of pretense to try and say, oh yes, well, this is a youth parliament, and this is an alternative.
If you don't believe in a youth parliament, how else do you think young people should engage in politics?
Well, for me, I happen to be a Conservative, and so for me, I joined the Conservatives when, in fact, I joined below the age you're supposed to. I think I joined when I was 13, and I think then it was 15. I was very actively involved in campaigning and putting leaflets through doors and going to conferences and meetings and asking questions to what was, at that stage, was a Conservative government. So standing up and asking government ministers questions, and I think that was a very good opportunity, and I was pleased to have it. So I think certainly for people who support a political party, getting involved in that political party and getting involved in what I would see as real politics is something that the political parties would be delighted to have people joining, and that's an opportunity to, even though not able to vote in elections, to actually campaign in elections and have an impact on politics. I think the other thing is, which of course is available now, which wasn't when I was a teenager, is the blogging, and that's I did quite a lot of blogging, but there's nothing that prevents teenagers blogging, and gives tremendous freedom and opportunity to put across their views on any conceivable subject. And I suppose for people who don't want to blog and don't want to join a political party, but are interested in particular issues, again, there are a whole array of different campaigns and pressure groups that people could be involved in helping. So I think that's what I would like, is for young people, for teenagers interested in politics, to be involved directly in the mainstream, rather than being segregated off into a separate organisation.
you're talking about blogging. Well, anyone can blog, but that doesn't mean it's listened to or any action is taken. Don't you think that youth organisations such as the Youth Parliament enables young people to directly talk to decision makers?
I think that I think to some extent there's naivety in that. I think probably what would happen is that it would be rather patronising, and a lot of the politicians would go along and have a photo opportunity and meet a young person and say how very seriously they will take it. And I would be a bit sceptical about that. I would think that probably what they would do is if a young person wrote to them with a point of view, they would consider their point of view on its merits, and they wouldn't really be concerned about whether the young person had won this youth parliament election, or whether they were 15 or 20 or whatever however old they were. If they had any sense, they would judge the argument and judge the idea that was being put forward on its merit, whether it was a good idea or a bad idea, and wouldn't really take very seriously this question of whether they were involved in the youth parliament or not.
Well, we've certainly had some strong opinions there. Now it's up to you guys. What do you think? What side of the debate are you on? Do we really need a youth parliament? Give us your views by logging on to www.catch21.co.uk.